how would a seller benefit in a seller's market? Or, well, obviously the sale becomes easier. They're getting more money than they may have expected a year earlier or 6 months earlier or even last month. So the seller will benefit. It possibly could add to the stress if things get a little crazy, but it's generally a good stress for the seller. Now, should a seller not bother with, say, staging or dealing with, photographer or fixing up things that are on the list that need to be done, let's say in the next few years, I'm going to suggest that for most sellers, it's still worth doing all this. Unless you're in a very tight position where you can't have any work done, financially or time-wise, it's still the staging and the prepping and the making sure the home is as presentable and as attractive as possible makes sense in all markets, and it still makes sense in a seller's market. So let's say your house is worth $400,000. You think it's worth $400,000? We could sell it tomorrow for $400,000. Well, what if you take a couple of $100, $1,000, whatever, do the little things that need to be done to just tidy it up, put some stuff in storage or get rid of the stuff you're going to get rid of anyways. Do the staging, little bit of painting here and there. Maybe that makes sense. Maybe you end up getting a little over 400. Maybe your house sells a little more quickly. But still, it's all about maximizing your return. And as a seller right now, this is possibly the best time in your life in Ottawa to be a seller. So I'm not going to compare to times in Vancouver and times in Toronto. I'm going to say in Ottawa, there are probably almost no historically better time to have been a seller in Ottawa. I don't know what's going to happen next month. I don't know what's going to happen next year. I'm just going to say, if you are a seller, it is a great time and you need to take advantage of the, we'll say you have the upper hand at this time. The negotiations will be in your favor, but it's important to take the best advantage you can if you're able to. So, seller's market. I just spoke as well about how a seller might want to approach. Now, I will caveat everything I say here with there is a spectrum of requirements. There's a spectrum, a spectrum of people's approaches. There's a spectrum of patience. There's all kinds of different possibilities on what approach somebody might take. The important thing is to get the proper advice. Talk to a professional that does this regularly with experience, knowledge, and a true understanding of what's happening in the Ottawa market and in your neighborhood right now. There will be neighborhood differences in the statistics. There will be neighborhood differences in possible approach to a sale.